Now we are live right across Facebook and YouTube and across the world, so I think they need to know that Littleport's back and here to stay. Good evening, friends! Good evening and welcome to Littleport Christian Spiritualists. It's a pleasure to see you all here tonight. Even the stragglers turning up late at the door, and I didn't mean you. You're already sitting down. You're fine. Look at him though. Bit wet, dear. Just come on in, sit yourself down, you're fine. And it's lovely to see familiar faces, but it's equally lovely to see faces that I've not seen in either a long time or at all, if ever. So everyone is welcome. Of course, we do welcome those watching at home, joining us here in Littleport Village Hall as well. So please do have a wonderful, uplifting evening. And before I open this service in prayer, there's another introduction that I need to make. She's a very good friend of ours, and frankly, a very good personal friend of mine. We haven't seen her in a very long time because, in her words, her and the internet are the only thing on the planet that don't get on. I jest you not. Ladies, gentlemen, friends, and everyone in between, please give a big Littleport welcome to Fiona Rae! And it really is great to have Fiona back, because Fiona has been part of our services every week since lockdown. But she only just found out today that her mug's been up on the introductory sequence every week since the beginning. So she's very happy about that, isn't she, dear? But no, in all seriousness, it's great to see some lovely faces smiling back at me. And even the ones that aren't smiling, if you're not by the end of the night, I'll be in trouble, so please smile. Because of course, we've got the governor here again tonight. She will probably say hello. So we have allocated some time available should she wish to. My suggestion would be that set of stairs this time, though, avoid the wires. So friends, this is of course a divine service, a service of mediumship, spirit and love and light and communication. And we begin, as ever, by opening in short prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to join together as friends, to unite under your banner of love and hope and friendship, that we may witness the proof and the truth that life is indeed eternal. I place this service in your care and keeping and ask for a blessing to be placed on each person here present, that the veil might be lifted and the truth revealed to all who would listen and have a heart to hear. And so, Great Spirit, everything we do will be in the name of love, in the name of truth, and in the name of light. Amen. Well, friends, usually at this point, I open up with Word of the Week. It's what's known in the trade, not as a... See, for years everyone's been saying, oh, Nick always does his sermon at the beginning of the service. It's not actually a sermon. We spiritualists call it an address anyway, because it sounds a little bit more humorous when someone says, can I have your address? And they stand up and say, yes, 28 Ashley Gardens, thank you very much, and sit back down. But the point is that it's not even that. It's a homily, because I don't, as a general rule, quote directly from any form of scripture while I'm up here speaking. So it's not a sermon. It's more of a homily. It's more of a, what was that week that's gone? And of course, the reason I do this is because as a Christian spiritualist, I take the lead from the governor. He was known more or less as Joshua, son of Joseph. But everyone in the world now calls him Jesus, because somebody translated his name into Greek and then into Latin and then into English and got a bit confused. But his name was actually Yeshua. So I call him by what Yeshua translates into English is Josh, my boss, Josh. And of course, his job, everything he ever did, was about making all of this divine scripture a lot easier for everybody to get hold of. to understand. That's why he used parables and stories to explain scripture. Because he knew that people didn't want to hear all of that boring, miserable, monotonous stuff. He wanted to actually help people understand what it was all about. So he used parables. And I've always said, if Jesus were to come today, he'd have a guest spot on This Morning, he'd do a lot of social media, but his biggest thing would be memes. Because you can tell 1,000 words from a picture. And that is very, very important. Now, what I will say is, when I'm getting ready to do my address on a Thursday, I listen to Spirit and they tell me what I'm going to say as I say it. So I always start with very little clue what I'm talking about. I often stand here, and if you see that rabbit in a headlight look on my face, it's been a very quiet week. But not this week. Not this week. Because I went to pick Fiona up to bring her over and we were chatting. And if there's one thing Fiona really, really does, it's inspire me. And we were talking about a whole lot of things and a whole lot of stuff on the way over. And one of the things that she mentioned, I've been hearing a lot about as well. And I've actually stood up here and said this before as part of my great uncle's funeral. Because he had a phrase when he was grumpy. The whole world's evil. And that's what he used to say. But when you want to get some comfort, some succor, some upliftment, some faithful rejoicing, and you turn to faith, you don't get my Uncle Tom. You just all get told that you're sinners every 5 minutes. Living is a sin, being born is a sin. You can't do that, that's a sin. You're all sinners, you're really, really, really naughty people. But now give me hundreds of thousands of pounds and come and see me every Sunday. What a way to get a congregation. What a way to teach the truth of Spirit. What a way to teach the gospel of good news that Jesus Christ brought to this earth. Of course, it isn't. This is where spiritualists work differently. We listen to what Spirit are telling us. We listen to what God is telling us. We listen to what anybody up there would shout and scream and say, this is the message. And every single time it is unconditional love. Now, you'll hear a lot of religious people talk about the unconditional God of love, and then follow it up with you're still a sinner. And you've been very, very naughty. This young lady said, I'm not that naughty. Well, not this week anyway. And it's true. We all make mistakes. We all say the wrong thing. We all slip up and say something that might offend someone. We all do something with the best of intentions that ends up being wrong. But do you know what? So long as you care, so long as you have compassion, so long as, oh, I made a mistake, I better apologise for that, or, well, I don't really understand what offended that person, what I just said, but I'll look into it and find out, and ask that question. Do you know what? That's not a sin. That's called being alive. We are all alive. And if that's a sin, then it's God's fault. Because he created every single one of us. So if it's a sin to be alive, blame God, not us. But you know what? For all the mistakes we make, for all the slip-ups we make, God's never given up on us. It might feel like it, but you see, he gave us a gift called free will. And if I gave you free will, and then sent you on your merry way, and then every 5 minutes came riding to the rescue, you wouldn't learn anything. It's a painful message, but it's true. This is why people avoid that topic. What is the meaning of life? No, it's not 42 or 37. It's about learning, living, loving, and occasionally, yes, making mistakes. But that does not make you bad. That does not make you evil, and that certainly does not make you a sinner. So my message to those of a religious ilk in nature, frankly, if you want to spread the message of God, forget about all the buzzwords and the bingo. Think about this: unconditional love. You cannot put conditions on unconditional. Love everybody equally as much as you would your friends, your family, and yourself. So we are not sinners in this hall tonight. We can be a little bit naughty sometimes, and I know I can. And occasionally I might say a naughty word. I haven't done my notices yet, so I know one's coming. But that doesn't make me bad. It doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make us bad. It makes us human. And to quote Doreen from Benidorm, who once said these wonderful words: to err is human, to forgive divine. I don't know who this divine woman is, but when I meet her, I promise I will forgive her. Thank you all for listening, and God bless you all. Well, we're still connected and people are still watching, so we're all right. I hope you're all comfortable at home and stop watching EastEnders. Well, friends, some notices. Should we need to evacuate the building, our exits are, of course, I have done this in nearly 2 years. Here, here, and through here. Yes, you can escape with us out the back door. And if you do have mobile telephones, please have them on silent and vibrate, unlike me last week. You can watch it on the playback from last week. I was a naughty boy. It was pinging all night, but never mind. And please do mind your step when leaving the building. Because I don't know if anybody noticed, but a rather lovely doggy owner allowed their wonderful creation to leave a little bit of a present down on the steps. Now, when we arrived, that doggy doo-doo was a little bit desiccated because it's been warm, but it's been peeing down with rain all night, so it's probably going to be a little bit more moist now, so do mind your step. See, I told you I could be naughty up here. I probably won't get away with it because the principal minister of the new Christian Spiritualist Society is about to come up and say a few words. But, friends, let us have a wonderful evening. Be safe, be careful. If you do have to stand up and go anywhere, continue to wear your masks. You're okay to not wear them when you're sitting down though. But for now, friends, I give you the one and the only. And many would say that the mould was broken for many different reasons. But she's also my friend and mentor as well. Reverend Len, give this walk.
Oh, there you all are. One of the joys of my old age is that I can't move. And I can't move round. So when I'm sitting there, I can't be sociable because I can't move either to the side or certainly not in 360 degrees so I could see everybody. So as far as I was concerned, there was nobody there until Reverend Dick told me that everybody was here. Well, enough about that. I think that was a wonderful address. And the fact is this, that because we are spiritualists and because we are attuned to the spirit world, whether or not we ourselves are mediums matters not. The fact is that because we're spiritualists, we know that we are getting information from the spirit world and we're getting signs from them. And we get prompts from them. And we can understand that in our daily life, we get helped by them. And we're not demonists or anything like that other people would have us talk about ourselves. But the fact is that we know that spirit is there. And I know that Reverend Nick was very, very prompted by his guides and helpers in spirit to give us that lovely uplifting address. The other thing is that we were talking earlier, weren't we, about laughter and how much we need humour in our lives because, you know, things are pretty miserable for most people a lot of the time. And we all have our problems, we all have our troubles, but we need that bit of humour to rise above it. And I think that one of the things that we have up our sleeve, as it were, like the old conjurers, is not the ace of spades, but in fact the Queen of Diamonds. And I'm not referring to you. It's just an allegory, you understand?
Yes.
What we know is that we have got inspiration from spirit, and we get messages almost as if well, even if we don't want them, but we come into our spiritualist churches and our meeting places basically to hear from spirit, to get messages. And I mean, there have been times in the spiritualist movement when the word messages, the idea of having messages, has been almost like a dirty word. You know, that we shouldn't want messages. We should only want philosophy. Well, where do they think the philosophy comes from? You know, that's okay. You know, we get spirit inspiration to give addresses and warble on at great length about our various principles and how spiritual everybody is. But what we really know is that we come to our spiritualist meetings to actually receive communication on a different level. We come to get consolation, we come to get comfort, we come to get the upliftment that comes with knowing that people that we have loved and lost to this life, are still able to communicate with us from that spirit realm. And that is something wonderful, and that's what messages are all about. And I know that Fiona is going to give us those messages tonight. And it's just so wonderful. And, you know, when you sort of think about, oh, well, you know, it's a message service, as if it's something bad, it's something really good. I mean, it's what spiritualism was based upon, messages. Somebody got a communication from somebody who'd been bumped off, a peddler who'd been killed, and he managed, just by banging and banging and banging until somebody listened to him, to get his message over to a couple of young girls in America. And fortunately for us, they listened and they worked out an alphabet, and Morse code had just been invented, so they understood about raps, and they made an alphabetic rap, and they had a conversation with this man who was trying to communicate with them through waking them up all through the night with his bangs. And everybody came from miles around. All the neighbours came to listen to to these messages, and then they went into their own homes and they sat and they asked spirit for help, and they got messages. And so this whole movement was all about those messages from loved ones who's passed over to spirit. And of course the philosophy is wonderful, but it came from that root of messages. You know, the philosophy didn't come first. There were philosophers who used to communicate with spirit and give out their philosophy, but that's what they did. And you can say that any musician, artist, composer, writer, right from the beginning, got inspiration from spirit that wasn't really recognised as such. But when these young women got these messages from this bloke, this peddler, who told them that he'd been killed, he'd been murdered, and gave them information about his tin box that was buried with him and how these things were taken from him and so on. And afterwards, the cellar of this house was dug up, and they did find everything that he'd said, including bones. And of course, that means that we don't need our bodies when we're finished with them. And it was because of that that everything else sprang. So all the philosophy in the world came, all the spiritualist philosophy came from that first message, that first communication from somebody who everybody thought was dead. And I think that that's a marvellous thing about our way of life, because once you know that, you can overcome any trouble, any trial and tribulation, because it doesn't matter how bad things get, you know that your loved ones are there helping you. They have to be, and they can give you signs, even if you don't get a message directly yourself, they can give you signs. There's the old ones about the white feathers that float around. You know, suddenly out of the blue you get a white feather. or you see a feather laying there where there shouldn't be one. All sorts of little things like that. Things move in your house. You know, the pictures get wonky. Everything else, sometimes it looks like an earthquake's hit your front room, doesn't it? If you walk in there and you think, oh, I never did that. You know, it's them. It's your loved ones. And I think that to come together tonight, to know that Fiona is going to bring messages from your loved ones back down here to you is the most wonderful, uplifting and energising thing that you could have done with your evening. So I'm really pleased to see so many people here supporting us in the hall, because just for this Thursday night, every Thursday night, this becomes a church. And the energies in this church, in this hall, are really vibrant and they're full of love. And Reverend Nick was talking about unconditional love, and that's what you get here. And you walk into it and you're enveloped by that. And so you will feel better, even for just sitting there. And I know that you're going to have a lovely evening. And I didn't bless you with any philosophy, because I felt that you probably had enough of that. But just my own personal view of what we're doing as spiritualists and how much it has helped me and continues to help me. And, you know, as I came up here, Fiona wanted to know if I wanted to sit down. I said, no, I won't have to sit down. Because what we understand as spiritualists is that it doesn't matter how decrepit you get, spirit will hold you up. Your loved ones in spirit will hold you up. You don't have to sit down, you can stand, because they will hold you up. And that's all I can say, really. It's a wonderful way of life. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I hope that you see us again, because we've got lots and lots of stuff on YouTube, haven't we?
Yes. Oh, yes.
And I have a YouTube channel as well. If you want to learn something about development, mediumship, stuff like that, there's loads of stuff on there. And of course, it's all free because it's YouTube. So you just ding on it, Fiona.
Ding on it.
And yes, ding on it. Right. And, you know, I hope that you will enjoy this evening. I know that you will. And that you'll follow us on YouTube. And if you look at Lynn Gifted Swart on YouTube, you'll get loads of tutorials and stuff like that. You'll even get some spoof seances that we did just to show people that they could be rooked if they weren't careful, because you could be convinced by charlatans. But here you will only get genuine mediumship, and that's what our society is devoted to, genuine mediums. And that's why it was set up in the first place. So God bless you. God bless you all. Have a lovely, lovely evening. Thank you for serving us, Fiona.
Thank you.
And I shall make my goodbye. So God bless everybody.
God bless you too. Well, I will just share the fact that Reverend Lynn was concerned that I would think that the Queen of Diamonds was a reference to me. In actual fact, Reverend Tony up in Rotherham, who's watching, has just mentioned, I believe it was him, that I was actually the Queen of Hearts. But I think everybody who knows me knows that, darling, I'm the Queen of Clubs. At least I used to be before the sciatica kicked in. But never mind. We are now going to attempt to channel spiritually in the cyber style our reading all the way from South Yorkshire, no less. Let's give him a go. Reverend Alan, are you there?
I certainly am, Nick. Can you all hear me?
Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hannah says yes. Crack on, love.
Okie doke. Tonight's reading is called Give Thanks by Vivian Wade. A popular lady is giving a party. So many of her friends have come. An old lady alone in a nursing home would be thankful for just one. A rich man, so much wealth, his table so fully spread. A hungry man is more likely to be thankful for a piece of bread. If birds only sang once a year, we would listen to their trill. Be aware of our daily blessings that show God loves us still. Let us always give thanks to God, for it is He who supplies our need. Counting our blessings, we will find we are a blessed people indeed. Thank you very much.
Bless you. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm sure Alan will post that available on the church page for anyone who is slightly hard of hearing, because once again, the microphone didn't work. But that's the least of our technical issues over the last 3 weeks, trust me. But Alan, thank you as ever for a wonderful reading, and it all ties in so lovely well. In actual fact, a certain young lady on the way was talking about Jesus feeding the 5,000 with the loaf of bread and a fish. So you even mentioned the loaf of bread there. So thank you, Alan. And we will see you later on. We'll have a chat after that.
Nick.
You've got it. All right, then. I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay, mate.
God
Cheers.
bless.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
See, the wonderful thing about the internet is that you're kind of organising your social life while saying goodbye and thank you for helping out. But there you go. Friends, we now have some healing music and a moment of healing silence to send out our thoughts to all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort. This is the bit where you can do the mediumship, because healing is mediumship and everyone can do it. It is a beautiful gift. It is a wonderful gift. And do you know what the best part of it is? It's so simple. It's just like prayer. Except there's no set words. You just ask. We begin our healing silence with a set prayer because that's what we do. And it ends with the word Amen. But you don't have to stick to set words. Even when Jesus said the Lord's Prayer, he said, say something like this. It didn't have to be word for word. But the point is, if you follow what's in your heart and ask for what you know is needed, Spirit will provide. So, my friends, let's ask for that help. And consider everyone who is sick and suffering and in need of comfort. And I will set the timer. And so let's begin by saying those words. Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, here we bring unto you all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort, be they sick in mind, body, or spirit, that it may please thee to heal them. Both those we know, those we do not know, and those who have no one to ask for them, we ask for them now. Amen. Well, friends, the time has come for me to hand over this evening to a very lovely young lady who is full of beams, bubbles, and upliftment. And that's just at tea time. I'm kidding. I always enjoy chairing for Fiona because she is just full of bright sparks and is such a compassionate, loving lady. So I know if anybody does want any water, you're more than welcome. There's cups and everything as well. We use cups so they can be disposed of. And I have been just asked to mention, if anyone would like a mug of their own that has the church logo on, please see Mandy down there for ordering, and she will share a link on our church page so that you can order some, because it's very, very nice to share some water. Just like that. I believe I was once told, give someone a cup of water, you're doing all right. It's not exactly what you said, but I just paraphrased. And move.
If you give anyone a drink of water in the name of Jesus, you are giving them blessings. And are blessed yourself.
Excellent. And that's why I still rely on my teacher. Friends, let's give her a big Littleport welcome. I give you the wonderful Fiona Rae.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me all right? Yeah?
Yes.
Good. Right. I welcome all of you. I'll just explain. You may have seen these flowers on stage, and I am always asked when I come to a service. I have no idea. They tell me, my friends in spirit, to get the flowers together. I don't know. I don't know who I'm going to give them to. I am only told at the end of the service. So I have to put them somewhere where I can remember. Because I think, oh glory, I'm supposed to have done something else. Oh yes, right, I'm supposed to give these flowers. So that's why they are there. The way I work is, I am clairvoyant, clairsentient, and clairaudient. I never know which way they're going to use me. They may use me all three ways. If I look a bit vacant, it's because I'm listening, I'm hearing what they're saying to me. All right? If I come to you, I don't mind those. I don't mind at all if you can't understand it. I will only ever give what I am given, and I will only ever pass on what I am given. I'm not quite sure where I'm going. All right, I have to say what I'm being shown. I know it's a grandmother vibration, and I'm not quite sure which side of the room I'm on. And this grandmother has come today. Everybody comes through with love, but the person she wishes to speak to, I know that they are finding it hard at the moment. Like a lot of us are. I'm sorry, I don't always get names, but this grandmother, I think I'm on this side, and I'm sure it's a grandmother. When she was down on the earth plane, she loved dancing. She was the life and soul wherever she went. Although you wouldn't really think so, because sometimes, I mean, we can't always go around with a smile on the face, can we? We get jaw ache if we did, I think. Can anybody take that? She's wanting to come through and say something. Well, I know what she's going to say. She's come through to uplift you because, as I said, she's not. All right, thank you. Okay, I think I'm over here. I've got several people. One is the grandmother, and I've been shown, shiny. I think they're ice skate boots. They're all shiny, really shiny. And I believe this grandmother had something to do with getting them for the person that needs booths or ice skates gave such joy, but it was hard for the... Can you... Oh, thank you so much. Sorry, I've got my eyes closed because I was trying to concentrate. Thank you. May I work with you, please?
Thank you.
Thank you. I have several people here. The grandmother has come through first, and she is only too well that... well, the only way I can describe it is, she... Come on, darling. You can do it. You always did do it. And I know, I feel she was instrumental in getting these ice skates for you, because you really, really, really wanted to do that, and I know you've helped so many people. And I think she was always there to encourage you.
Yeah.
And she is so pleased. I mean, it's insurmountable the number of people you've helped. You don't realise how many people you've helped. They are her words, not my words.
Thank you.
And she is saying, she hasn't gone, but I had a gentleman that's come through. The grandmother, I've got a bit more, the grandma wants to say a bit more, but this gentleman, I have a feeling that he was quite quiet. I do have a feeling you helped him in the circle because he wanted to do this kind of thing, but he wasn't sure of himself. And he's coming through.
Yeah.
He's coming through. I've got a massive bunch of gladioli. They are for you. And I can't thank you enough because you gave me the courage to stand up and do what I really, really wanted to do.
Thank you.
And I do feel that he is round you quite a lot. Your grandma is, and I do know that your mother is as well.
Yeah.
Because we all speak our mind, that's the only way I can say it. And we do to everybody, we do to our mums, we do to our grands, and we do to everybody. And sometimes it comes out a bit wrong, sometimes we're not really understood, but there is nothing, there's only love.
Yeah.
And she's saying that you really took care of your mum when she wasn't very well.
Yeah.
And I'm picking up. I know I'm going like this, but she's done that, love, because she's making me aware that I am speaking to who I am speaking to, if you can understand that.
Yeah.
She didn't always say thank you, she's saying, but I'm trying. Well, I have to say, the fact is, I was rather a miserable bastard. I'm sorry, that was not mine. But she didn't mean to be like that, and she's very grateful. I've also got the gentleman still here. He's got the massive thing of gladioli.
Yeah.
But the grandma, I feel, as I said, she really wanted you to have those ice skates because you could go. And she's saying, at the moment, you feel as if you got the weight on your shoulders. You think, oh dear, but I've got to keep going. And she's there to help you. Just the same as she was with the ice skates.
I've been looking at old videos of me on skates today.
Have you really?
Well, before I left, yeah.
Oh my goodness, thank you for saying that. Thank you very much.
I used to coach skaters.
Did you obviously, I shouldn't ask questions. You've got the medals, did you get, oh no, I shouldn't say that. Because Granny's showing me, cups, or
I've got one very bent old cup, yeah.
But never mind, that's special, that cup. That's Granny saying, that's special, that cup. You got it. It's yours. Can't take it from you.
I suddenly forgot we were on national television.
At least you weren't pursuing me.
And some of my skaters will be watching.
Yes.
I don't know if she wants to say anything. No, Mum. Okay, I'm not sure if it's your father, and I'm putting this because he's got the braces on, and he's come in. Hello, and that's the way he said it to me. Hello, you all right? Can you understand that?
And yeah, that wouldn't be my dad. But
It wouldn't be your dad. Oh, I beg your pardon.
No, it's
I've
okay. It's
got
okay.
the wires
I
crossed.
understand that.
You can't just take that.
Mm.
He's putting like this, putting the braces, but that's all right. He's just come in to say hello. I don't think he wants to say. No, it's just making me aware that he's there.
That's very important, actually.
Is it?
Mm. He's not my father, but he's somebody's father.
All right. You want to say anything else, maybe? I'm being quiet because he's just standing there, and I don't know whether you want. I'm just here. He's done that. He's gone like that. So it means he's all right, and he wants you to be all right. I want everybody to be all right, and he's talking like that. That's the way he went. I want everybody to be all right. Okay.
Yeah, it
I
sounds a
think
bit
they are.
drunk.
I don't. The others are standing back, but Riley just wants to say one more thing. Obviously, she's come through with all her love. She gives you all her love. Right, I've got to say, well, don't give up now. There is a place for everybody, and I know you know that. But I have to say that to you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
No, they're stepping back now, so I thank you for working with me, and I thank the dear people that came through.
The man that you've got as well with the gladioli is somebody who was in my circle at Wimbledon Church.
Was it really?
He passed the spirit, yeah, Robin, yeah.
Oh,
And the
my.
gladioli are a joke.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they are.
I didn't know what I was on about. It's not up to me to know what I'm on about because, it's for the people. But thank you very much for saying that, then.
Thank you, Fiona, it was on.
No, thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry I hogged the first message.
No, it came through. No, as I said, I have to say, as it comes through.
Thank you.
And I'm not very quick at giving the messages. I just
That was definitely quick enough, thank you.
All right. Many thanks. God bless, and God bless the people that
God
came
bless you.
through. Right, now where am I going? Okay, I'm not normally this dithering. I'm not normally, I normally know where I'm going. I do have a gentleman come through for me, and the gentleman loved gardening. He loved, everything was just so, all the things were in a row, carrots, everything, and it was really, really neat, and it was his soul, actually. It gave him the peace. I don't know whether, I haven't got any more information at the moment. I don't know who he wants. Can you give me that more, please? I don't know. I'm sorry about this. The gentleman isn't going back, but maybe I'll have to bring through again because I honestly don't know where I'm going with this. But I do know he wants to say something. Picking up that he was quite an ordered gentleman. and hence the rows of vegetables were just so. But he was a very kind gentleman. He would share those vegetables. He would share anything with anybody, but everything just had to be just so. Also standing next to him, and I'm having to stand up very straight, and I'm sorry, I'm looking around here. The gentleman is in the military, and he's standing to attention like this, and I do believe the gentleman I brought through was a great uncle of his. I know it sounds vague, but the both of them standing here, can anybody take that? No?
I do apologise then if no one else can, but you actually got the description correct. Great uncle. My great uncle.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Oh, may I work with you, please?
Sorry, everybody, but it
I'm
has
sorry.
been over a year since I had one. Yes, you can.
Right, I'm sorry about
Just tell them to keep it short so everyone else can get it.
All right,
Because they'll keep going all night, just like me.
all right. Well, as I said, I've got to stand up terribly straight
Yes.
like this. I just want to salute, really, but never mind. Okay. What do you want to say, Lowe? All right, I'm saying it the way he's saying it to me. He knows that it's been really, really difficult, and he's saying that he will come up, and you're not blunt, you're not blunt, but the way he's saying it to me is he got his view across, and he was with people. He could be a bit, but he looked after his own, and when he was in the military, by heck, I want to use the word, I'll stand in the shield wall with you. And he did stand in the shield wall with you. Just the same as you do, because you stand in the shield wall with people. It isn't always easy to do that, but, and I'm holding my chest like this, that's what I was born for, to be in the military and stand in the shield wall with people, just like you are. And that's what he's saying. I could talk all night if I wanted to. I mean, it's going like this, so I'm going like this. But I guess I better not. Well, I don't mind. But I think you have to give somebody else a chance now. He's also talking, he's always come through for Linda as well. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Because he thinks the world of you, Linda, he really does. And he is, all right, he's saying you've got amazing bravery, and they are his words, because again, it really hasn't been an easy time. It hasn't been an easy time for everybody, but his words, not mine. When your shield wall goes, you feel rather lost, as we all do when our shield walls go. But he is with you, and he wants to know he's very, very proud of you. Also, Nick is very, very proud of you as well, and he thanks you most sincerely for everything you do. And Linda, I have to say the same to you. Everything you do, because you are the same. You helped a lot of people. And it's not easy to reach out and help people at times, is it? I salute you. I salute you, Nick. And with that, he's going to stand back, but he's watching over both of you, I know. And I just say, God bless to both of you. He's saying that too, to both of you. God bless and God bless him, and thank you, both of you.
Bless you, thank you. Can I just say that was Uncle Tom? He was in the Navy, and his obsession with the shield wall. He worked in the Great Cliffs of Dover in preparation for D-Day under Bertram Ramsay. And that you didn't know. Also, you didn't know which side of the family was, but he was actually Mum's uncle, not Dad's. So instantly you went to Mum without knowing which side of the family. You went straight to Mum. That was her uncle.
Oh,
so thank you.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you so much.
Validation's validation. Can you just keep an eye on a second, because there's a rattling that I need to deal with. It's a rattling. I'm going to go and sort it.
I don't know where I am, but I'm not here. I don't know why. I could have danced all night, and I had a very elegant lady with me. I believe she came, she's telling me she came from London, and she loved dancing. She had one of the, I'm going like this because she had a cigarette holder, and she would go like that, and she was so, she just loved dancing, and she was so elegant. I don't know whether anybody can take that, but she's spinning around the room, and she's just so elegant, and she's come London. She came from London, but I don't know whether that's where she did the dancing. Can anybody take that? No? It's one of those nights, never mind, Catherine. You can you, Barbara? Oh, may I work with you, please? Thank you. Thank you so much. But this lady is very, very elegant, as I said, and did the dancing and everything. And she was really quite a character. And I'm still going like this with my hand, the cigarette thing. I don't know if she had a sister, because I'm seeing two people going to the dancing. She is round you an awful lot. She's saying she definitely came from London. I will say it the way she's saying it. Oh, darling, please have a bit more fun. I know you do have fun, but they're her words. I think she wants to, I don't think she's telling me, but she wants you to have a bit more, I know you do, but she's wanting you to have a bit more light. Can you understand that? I shouldn't ask questions, I know, but she's wanting you to, what does she want you to say? I can only say what I'm being told or shown. I won't ever say anything other than that. It's a bit like pulling teeth, isn't it? Ceiling, but that's the way it is. I'm so sorry, Barbara. She's just standing here and she's not saying anything, and I'm asking her to say something because I can't make anything up. I've got to say what I hear and say what I see. She's on about stockings, and they were difficult to get. I don't know what she's on about. I don't know why. I'm so sorry about this, Barbara. I just have to say, and if you can't take it, please say so. But she's showing the stockings. She's got the stockings, and she's going on about war. I don't know why, because that was difficult to get, but she could get them. She could get almost anything if she put her mind to it. No. I'm very sorry about this evening, people, but I can't and I won't say anything that I don't see and I don't hear. And I'm sorry about that, Barbara. She hasn't gone because she's still here, but I think I'll have to say thank you very much to her for coming through, and thank you for putting your hand up, and God bless, and thank you. And I thank her for coming through as well. Okay. All right. I have somebody's father, which is true, just come through, and the father taught the gentleman the fishing and everything, taught him the nature, and I do believe that the gentleman went on, I don't want to say be a scientist, but he knew all about the grains, the different seeds and everything. I don't know. All I can do is say I'm so sorry about this evening, because I cannot, as I said, cannot bring things through that people don't. Yeah. No, I don't think I was to that. Can you please tell me or show me, please? No.
Do you want to double up?
Hmm?
Do you want to double up?
Do you want
Do you want to double up?
to double up? I don't know who it is, but yes. Yeah.
We're gonna link in together, and we're gonna double demo. It's been a while since I did this, so give me a second. So we're gonna get the same person and link in together.
Sorry about that.
And I know this lady, as soon as I open my mouth, she'll take over and I won't get a word in anyway, so you're perfectly safe. So because as I sat over there, I was linking in with that gentleman as well, and I was very much aware that he was actually quite annoyed for you apologising for being genuine, because he was a very moral, principled person. And I recall that Fiona was talking about the seeds and how he knew all about the seeds, and it was once again, he was very regimental with everything, and he could name everything and talk about everything. But he also knew what the meanings behind them were as well. Not just the names, but the uses. So he would give you lavender when you wanted to sleep. He would give you everything else that would do everything else, because lavender's the only one I can ever remember. I'm also aware that he was a very compassionate and kind person, and would be most annoyed by someone apologising for being genuine, because it would frustrate him that people, that you, my darling, in fact, would feel the need to apologise for speaking the truth. When all around, people talk a load of, and this is his words, a load of waffle. And he says, I'm done with people waffling, and I've got a funny feeling we need to come over here. Would that be right?
Yeah, I understand.
And you would understand that this is a father figure that...
It wasn't a father figure, it was actually a spiritual medium, healer, London-based.
I
And he
see.
actually worked with, I'm not going to say much more.
No.
Would you also understand that he would have described himself as a father to all?
Yes.
There you go, that's that one solved.
me.
Oh, so you,
I shouldn't ask questions, I know. Can you understand? Was he philosophy?
Very much bigger
Ah,
than philosophy.
thank you.
I've got to say, and this is really, really strange, and he's just reminded me of what was going on out there with the knocking. I had to go and fix the door, and he was finding it very ironic that earlier on Reverend Lynn was talking about the Fox sisters and the rappings, and then I was hearing rappings out on the back door, and he says it was me coming in. And I also have to give you the initial H in connection with this gentleman, because the rappings, and this is the reason why we've had to do it like this, is because I don't know Morse code, but I went out the back and the door knocked 4 single dots. So I had to go and Google it while I was coming back in, and it's H. So he reminded me of that, because he would have liked to have balanced everything out and had he was just such a sponge of knowledge, and he had his finger in literally every pie. And if you wanted to know something, he was the original Google. He says, you didn't need that with me. I was Google before Google was Google. And he says, and it wasn't just spirit, it was everything that I'd studied and learned and everything that led me up to my path in my life. You take after him in that sport because you are a sponge for knowledge. You frustrate yourself because you don't learn things fast enough in your book, but everyone else thinks that your book's pretty full, thank you very much. In actual fact, people will give you this glare as if to say, she's off on one again. He's very, very interested in the fact that you've taken after him in that way. He says, it's not me that's done it, you've done it, but he says, it's lovely to see that you do it. Because I do come and peek in from time to time and see what you're up to. And he's taken me back to the raps and taps. You get raps and taps. And because I was quite absolutely gobsmacked by that door knocking 4 times. Because I thought it was Doctor Who, it was the Master coming. But he says the Master did come. He did have this little sense of jokey. He couldn't stand people with ego, so he mocked them. So he built up this own sense of ego. Well, of course, I am the Master. That's why he asked me to remember that bit about Doctor Who and everything. He says, but, okay. He says, not everything's been sunshine and roses, of course. However, he says, you've certainly had more lives than Doctor Who. You've been through more changes than Doctor Who. You've gone through more regenerations than Doctor Who. But he says, just like Doctor Who, every single time it's an advance. So stop worrying about what's ending and think about what's beginning. Because she's one of these, isn't she?
Well, to say where there was a beginning, there was always an end, and where there was an end, there will always be a beginning. Can you, sorry, no, you stay there because you were saying, but he just wanted me to say that. And I know you know that already, but he just wanted me to say that to you.
And it's important actually to remember that someone like you who does take an interest in the past harkens everything back to the past, even your own. He says, but where are you going? Are you going backwards or are you going forwards? Stop worrying about what's behind you. Think about what's going forward. Think about what's next. Because he says, you've already got your finger in that pie. You're already plotting and planning, and everyone else is plotting and planning for you as well, by the sounds of it. And he did take a glance sideways. But I'm making sure that I stare squarely at you, but there are plots and plans going. Fair dues, take advice, but it's got to be you that does it. People can take a horse to water, but they can't make the horse drink. Because quite often, when the horse is angry, they say, nay. He did have a really silly, funny, wicked sense of humour,
There are certain things that he would like to say right now that he's not allowed to because I'm preventing it. And you've already explained that he was a medium. He would take great pleasure in making a chair or a medium squirm with the things that he's implying. He did love his, I'm the same, I love double entendre. But he would very much push things to the limit just to wind the person that would be sitting over there up. And yeah, I'm the same, I can't help myself. Especially when the boss is sitting there. But I would have done the same thing, but when I'm working, I have to be the thanks. He didn't mind offending people either. He said, yes, you can say you have to be the fat controller. I said, thank you very much. Not as big as I used to be, darling. But he's bringing out this really, really silly, wicked sense of humour that you have, but have not been using far enough. You bring it out in people even when you're down, but you need to actually feel it. Stop putting on a brave face and start showing people the real one, because then they will pick you up. And he was a lecturer as well, because I'm leaning forward and I just want to get right in and give you the information. I want to get right there, right in your face. And the fingers would be wagging and the arms would be up. And I don't know, the comedian Lee Evans, the way the jacket would always be slightly wrong shaped, and I do feel that he probably had better suits than that, but quite often he would be standing a little bit funny because he'd done a wrong button up or something. But he did like his threads. He was very stylish, and he just wants to remind you of all of that. And just the key pointer really was: stop putting a brave face on it. Be the genuine person that you are. Show people your truth, just as our medium showed us her truth. And then people will stand up and lend him a hand. What a crafty what's-it he is to do this to us just to prove his point about you. Have you got anything else on you?
No, I only wanted to say it's just like the math professor. No, he's right. He's right, I'm sorry. But no, you take care.
No, thank you. He was very philosopher, very crystal healer, great healer himself. And good point.
You better mention that bit as well, otherwise you'd be in trouble. God bless you, and we'll say thank you for working with us. And unfortunately, we've reached that time in the evening.
Right.
So sorry. But thank you all for listening. And ladies and gentlemen and friends, give a big thank you to this lovely lady, Fiona Rae.
Thank you so much.
Now I know this will be the first time she's actually remembered to do this on time.
I always forget. I feel a bit like I'm the school mistress giving out a prize, first, second, and third. As I said before, I have no idea. I'm just asked to get the flowers and the colours. They give me the colours. So, also an odd thing. He's going to kill me, your man. This is the first thing I've got to give you. I don't know where you eat. It's some seeds done in the I'll come down and give them to you. I'm sorry. I get asked to do all sorts of weird and wonderful things. Sunflower seeds. I know they've been shown. They always stand there shaking sometimes. It's got big, you get people with strength. I don't know why, but some other seeds as well. Because you say you have so many people and everybody's different happening, you have to notice the colours of them. Thank you very much. Right. Now to give the other. I haven't got a clue, but that's only Don't squish on the floor. Right. Okay. Okay, nice and sensible thing to do. I got PPE because everything is given with really real love, unconditional love. Thank you.
Pick the furthest one away.
I've got a big issue and I all of them. You take care. The people's giving it to you, it's a lady, and she just wants you to be happy because it's, she's done all the colours because she wants you to have this. Yeah, she's put the sun and really proud. Take care. And thank you so much, everybody.
Fiona Rae. Thank you, darling.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a rest and I'll fill your mug up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Friends, once again proving the point that sometimes it's the giving, not the receiving. And I know that it's a wonderful gift to give someone a smile, but sometimes it's equally important to let the tears out, because we are all equally the sum of our tears. Too many and the best of us is washed away, but too few and the ground grows infertile and nothing can grow. So let it out is the message. Let it out. Friends, we are close to the end of our evening. Soon it will be time to hand over to my glamorous assistants, the triumvirate of entertainment and upliftment over there, Samantha, Hannah and Bully. But first of all, as is ever, the most important thing, we close this service in prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as friends, to unite under your banner of hope and friendship, to feel the upliftment, the love and the truth of survival, that we are indeed indestructible, immortal, and go on forever. As we go out into the world, Great Spirit, I ask for each person here and at home, watching now and in the future, to be blessed. To all those people in this hall, let that light shine upon them. Let them take it out into the world that they go to the people that they meet. Let them touch each other with love and light. Let that light share and be spread across the world with upliftment, with love, with humour and good virtues. And so, Great Spirit, as we do meet the world and the day that is to come, we are reminded as ever, do not move the mountain for us, but please, Great Spirit, give us the strength to climb. Amen. Well, friends, that is another week over. Week 3 back from lockdown, week 3 in the hall. And still I'm learning and growing in the technology, and I'm sure I'll fix something else next week, ready to mess it up the week after. But nonetheless, if anyone would like to volunteer and help with certain tasks, you're more than welcome to join in, dig in, have a hand in everything. We don't stand on ceremony here. You can help 1 week and not the next. You can help 2 weeks and not the next. You don't have to have a specific job, but if you want to be a part of it, take part in it and help out, you're more than welcome. As I said, we don't stand on ceremony. We all work together as friends here, and we're all on the same level. The only reason we're on the stage is because it stops us echoing. Because when we're down there, you can hardly hear us. Otherwise, we'd be on the same level. But there we go. Friends, thank you all for coming out. Thank you for everyone struggling with their internet connection, Evelyn. And do have a wonderful, wonderful day. I will shortly hand over. But for now, thank you all. May the peace of the Great Spirit go with you all. And good night. And now, as they sing their outro credits, you get to win a raffle. Over to Sam and Hannah.
God bless you all, and good night.
Three,